We are live, baby. We are live. I'm going to post this on Twitter real quick just so that we could get more people in here. It's going to be a cool show. It's going to be a cool show. Hopefully, we're going to have some people stop in, give us a call in just so that they can give their thoughts on the game. But I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion on where I really think that this team stands and my thoughts, and takeaways from this game, man. But if you're new to the channel, hit that sub button, follow us on Twitter, man. I mean, we're really growing here, so I really appreciate every single person that stops by, subs up, shares the channel, interacts with us. It really does mean a lot. But hey, let's get this right. So, New York Giants, we beat the Philadelphia Eagles, man, and what a win, right? Now, I know it wasn't the most the nicest win, right? I mean, offensively, you can make the argument that, we didn't really do enough. It was really, the defense, it was a defensive show. And I can't really argue with that. I thought that DJ played a pretty good game. Could he have played better? Sure. But, I thought that he did what he needed to do. I mean, look, we can all agree that the biggest headline going into this game was how was this team going to play after the firing of Jason Garrett? Joe Judge was trying to throw up smoke, that, we're not going to, say who's calling the plays, even though we all knew that it would be Freddie Kitchens. But, it was really going to be how is this offense going to look, with Freddie Kitchens calling the plays, right? And honestly, man, I as much as I want to sit here and try to belittle this offense because there were certain things that I wasn't a fan of, I thought the offense got the job done. Hey, what's going on, Easy Three? What's going on, Coach? What's going on, y'all boys? I'm gonna drop the link in the chat if y'all boys want to stop in, get your thoughts in. I'm gonna put that right there for y'all boys. But Daniel Jones was 19 to 30. He had 202 passing yards, one touchdown. Saquon was our leading rusher today. He had 13 carries, 40 yards. He averaged 3.1 yards per attempt. Now Saquon, outside of that one big run, I believe it was for 32 yards. We really couldn't get him going, right? And I really thought that with Saquon, we would get him a little bit more involved. We tried getting him involved. One thing I wasn't really a fan of was that we were running between the tackles. And when you look at that Philadelphia Eagles team, man, I mean, they're very hard to run between the tackles. I got to give a lot of credit to the Philadelphia Eagles. As much as I hate them, man, I mean, they're a team that's rebuilding and they're competing, right? And they still have a solid defense, man. I mean, Fletcher Cox, man, as old as he is, he's still a monster, man. He's still a beast. He was causing problems on our offensive line, and he blew up Nate Solder, man. I mean, Nate Solder. We're gonna talk about him in a little bit, but he blew up Nate Solder, tackled Saquon for a loss of, I think it was like a loss of 3, when he really could have took the handoff. That's how quick he got back there, man. So I mean, honestly, man, the Philadelphia Eagles. Anytime we can beat them, I'll take it. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Easy Three? How you feeling, brother?
I am good. I am good, man. We beat the Eagles. Feeling good.
I know, man. How you feeling, man? What were your thoughts on the game? What did you like from the game? What did you dislike, man?
Well, I love the defense. I love the defense. I was
Facts.
about to be extremely pissed when the offense couldn't really close out the game. And what I dislike is the offense. This offense
Facts.
is truly putrid. Like watching them really makes your eyes bleed. It's not even like it's not a pretty sight to watch this offense. And I mean, a lot of people are still saying just because it's injury, but even with Freddie Kitchens being there, the scheme didn't change. I mean, he threw a little bit more motion in there, but Daniel Jones is doing the same exact things that he was doing under Jason Garrett. Um, Getting the ball to the playmakers, they were trying, but they weren't really succeeding.
Yep.
The offense, it just looks like they're just not gelling together. While the defense is really coming into its own, especially the secondary. Now, we still don't have a pass rush. We couldn't really get to Jalen Hurts, and if Nick Sirianni had any type of sense, they would have just stopped throwing the ball and just ran the ball the whole day, the whole game. But luckily they didn't. But the defense, when you only hold somebody to 7 points, or even if they did score, if they would have only held them to 14 points, this game would have solely just been on the offense because
Hmm.
this defense is playing their asses off.
Yeah,
Outside of
man,
that
I
Tampa
agree.
Bay game lately, outside that Tampa Bay game lately, they have been playing their asses off and they have been playing well enough to win. And you've seen like when we've won, it's been the defense. Like Xavier McKinney
Hmm.
getting a pick six. These guys having four turnovers and also a turnover on downs, and the offense still only musters 13 points. That is our biggest issue right now.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And, I had tweeted last night. I mean, when you look at Baker Mayfield, man, I mean, that dude was the first overall pick. His team got him 4 turnovers. They only scored 10 points and they still lost the game. And it's like, I understand that too, but with DJ, I mean, at least he won, right? But I will say this much: I agree because for a defense to create that many turnovers and shit, Xavier McKinney should have had 3 picks in that game, man. For the defense to cause that many turnovers, yeah, we should have put more points on the board. That was definitely something that I was saying myself. And looking at the offense, man, in hindsight, there was one play. It was like an end around to Darius Slayton, and it got blown up due to poor blocking by Nate Solder. And in hindsight, I think that if Nate Solder holds his block, I mean, Darius Slayton is gone. But there were certain things that looking how the Giants approached the game yesterday, I wasn't really fond of. I mean, I liked seeing that we were trying to get Kenny Galladay the ball, but then there is one route where it looks like he's jogging. He's kind of like tuned out. That kind of upset me. I'm not gonna lie. Um,
Mhm.
I really I guess for me, I liked that we didn't have all these hooks and curls that we're used to seeing with Jason Garrett. It almost seemed
Yeah,
like we were able to stretch the field a little bit. I will say this much though, as bad, or I guess not. Let me not say bad, but as bland as the offense was yesterday, I really liked that DJ was able to step up in the pocket. He sensed the pressure. There were times where he stepped up and just took off. I really liked seeing that from DJ. And I honestly, man, for a team that was averaging like 40 points the last 3 games, I believe, with the Philadelphia Eagles, for us to really hold them to no points, man, the first three
yeah,
quarters, I got to give our defense a lot of credit. And especially since we lost to Dory Jackson towards the later half of the game with the quad injury, man. I mean, this defense, we've been playing that bend but don't break defense, and it's been working, man. It really has been. You may carve up a couple yards, you might get a big play on us a little bit, but when it comes to the red zone, we're not going to let you score. We're really going to clamp down and hold your
yeah,
offense to either a field goal, a turnover, which we've been averaging, a turnover a game. I believe it was Big Pat Sports that said it yesterday that we have 15 turnovers in 7 games. Like, that's a
yeah,
lot. That is a
yeah.
lot. And this defense, man, I mean, this defense was really the star of the show. And I really do think that if this defense can play the way it's been playing, which outside of the Bucs game, as you said, I mean, we have been. I,
Mm.
I honestly, man, I'm not afraid of LA. I'm not afraid of
Oh no,
Miami.
oh no,
You know,
definitely, yeah, definitely. So because those teams are not on the level of where Tampa Bay was at. Like
facts.
Tampa Bay game showed how far we are from being an elite team, from being like a championship contending team. But to make the playoffs, you're going up against uh what, like Minnesota and Atlanta, and we played Atlanta. We should have won that Atlanta game, but that was also a terrible game on the offensive end. Our defense is fine though. I mean,
Oh,
you're not
facts.
going to run into too many quarterbacks when the bend but don't break is going to really hinder you. Now, running into Tom Brady, that's what he's made his whole career off of, just taking the short passes and eating up those kind of yards.
Yeah,
But usually everybody else in the NFL, they're looking for the big plays. They're looking for the splash plays. I mean, look how we had Patrick Mahomes. I mean, even
it's
last year,
true.
looking at how Russell Wilson was, like those guys was confused because you can't get the ball down the field on us. You have to take it little by little. And Jalen Hurts not being the thrower of the ball, being the thrower of the ball, he he couldn't do anything. I mean, outside of the read options, which they were killing us on, but they didn't stick with it as they was doing for the past 3-4 weeks. But it
Yeah,
man,
with you,
it's
dog.
bad. Our offense is bad. Defense is good. We beat we beat Philly. That's all I'm happy about. We beat Philly. Even if we have a terrible season and we don't make the playoffs, if we could sweep Philly, I'll be happy.
I'd be
I'll be
happy as
happy.
hell, man. I'm there with you, man. I would be happy as hell. And I was saying this on Big Pat's stream last night, man. Anytime we could get a win against Philly, man, I'll take it. Because we hardly ever beat Philly. And anytime we do beat Philly, I don't know, at least for me,
Hey, yo, hit
it hits
squad.
a little different. What's up, man? Yo, can you hear me, Suttles? Uh, all right, we lost Suttles, man. But hey, if you can hear me, man, hey, I appreciate you stopping through. But I agree, man, with everything that Suttles was saying, man. I mean, this defense, we've been really carrying this team with the defense, which was a story last year of this New York Giants team. Look, this defense, man, we're holding teams. I mean, obviously, Brady is Brady, right? You're not going to be able to you're not really going to be able to stop Brady like that with that bend but don't break defense, man. I mean, he's the GOAT for a reason. But, we almost beat Patrick Mahomes. I get it. It's almost, but still, you feel me? And honestly, man, all right, let's break this down, right? With Kenny Galladay being our leading receiver, he had 3 receptions for 50 yards. What I love about Kenny Galladay is that he was able to pick up the first downs for us. That's really what Kenny Galladay has been doing since we brought him here, which, I mean, I want to see more from him. I know the fans want to see more from him. I know Kenny Galladay wants to see more from himself. So, I understand that. But, hey, I really thought, man, there were instances where we could have scored points, and we didn't. And I think that really comes down to player execution, and that's something that I understand that Joe Judge stresses. There's a lot of things that Joe Judge stresses, and unfortunately, we're just not there yet. Now, I will say this with the Philadelphia Eagles, right? I got to give a lot of credit to the Philadelphia Eagles because a lot of their fans, first of all, were underestimating us. That's not why I'm giving you credit. I'm giving you guys credit because y'all played a solid game. There were instances that y'all should have really won that game. I mean, the 2 passes to Jalen Rager, man. I mean, I believe the last final pass to Jalen Rager, which actually won us the game. You had Devontae Smith wide open, but Jalen Smith didn't see him. Jalen Hurts, excuse me, didn't see him. But I got to give a lot of credit to Philly because Philly right now, they're in the process of rebuilding. They're still trying to figure out Jalen Hurts is their quarterback. He still hasn't played a year of football as of yet, but he's winning games for them. I mean, prior to this game, man, like I said, they were putting 40 points on teams, man, the last couple of games. I mean, and he still carved this on the field, man. I mean, I get it. He was only 14 to 31, 129 passing yards, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, but he almost had 100 yards rushing on us, which the way that he was carving us up on the ground, I was kind of shocked that he did it. He only had 77 yards on 8 attempts. Now, the defense, again, we came up clutch. Julian Love should have had that pick. It's all good. He didn't. Xavier McKinney should have had 3 picks in his own, and I got to also, this is like the third time I got to give Pat credit. Pat said this himself, man. I mean, if Xavier McKinney would just trust his instincts, man, this man would have so many more interceptions than what he currently has, which is at 5. And unfortunately, as much as I want to say, and I've tried my best, voting him to the Pro Bowl because he plays for the New York Giants, he most likely won't. And that's really unfortunate, man, because this dude is a star in the making, man. I mean, Boston Scott, he was our Giants killer. We got that fumble on him. Dexter Lawrence really came through, caused the fumble. It was picked up by Julian Love. Well, not even picked up. It really fell into his lap. But Boston Scott, he usually kills us, man. And honestly, I'm not here to convince you that Daniel Jones is the answer. I'm not here to convince you that we're gonna go on this winning streak and we're gonna go win the Super Bowl. While I do think the winning streak is very, very possible, and I do have us penciled in at either 9-8 or 10-7. Hey, I'm not here to convince you that we're going to go to the Super Bowl, but this team is playing pretty well, at least defensively. Offensively, we got some things that we got to figure out. And I think that as we build more chemistry with these players, we will. Freddie Kitchens, we can't expect him, to call a whole different game than what we had with Garrett, considering that one, you had the holiday, two, it was a short week. I mean, I really do think that going into this Dolphins game, we're going to see the changes that we thought we would have seen in this Eagles game, even if it's not drastic. What I did like with Freddie Kitchens was, again, we didn't see too many hook routes. We didn't see too many curl routes. I thought the play calling was a little bit better. It wasn't the greatest, but it was still a little bit better, at least than what we would see with Jason Garrett. I liked some of the screen calls that were screen plays that were called. One to Devontae Booker, one to Evan Ingram. These screen passes, man. I mean, it takes time. It takes time. It takes development, and you saw that with this team. And I will say this much with the New York Giants, right? The New York Giants, man, they've been underperforming this year. I think that's no secret with any of us, right? But I really do think that if this Giants team, if this offensive line could just play a little bit better, man, we could see this offense take a big step forward. I really do think that, man. I mean, I don't know why Nate Solder's on this team, man. I've been really trying to think about it. At this point, I'm just kind of chalking it up to, we're paying him, an X amount of money. Might as well let him play. Although I don't agree with it, although I think that we should have Matt Parrott play over Nate Solder. I think a lot of Giants fans feel that way themselves. Um, I expect Nate Solder, to see the field more. Now, I would want to see a player like Isaiah Wilson get some time, see what we got in him. He was a first round pick for a reason. Now, whether that's on the right side, whether that's at guard, let's see what we got in the guy, man. And then in the draft, we can address the positions that we need to address, which honestly, man, I really think that if we can really fix this offensive line, man, this offense could be very scary, especially with Kadarius Toney, coming back in the lineup. I'm not really counting on Sterling Shepard at this point, man, because as much as I love Sterling Shepard, dude can't stay on the field. Now, I want to say this, right? I know that it's hard for us as Giants fans to be optimistic with this team, right? Because they haven't given us reasons to be optimistic. But a win is a win. And as Giants fans, we don't get them a lot. And I really do think that, when we beat a team, especially like the Eagles, who we don't beat often, we got to celebrate it. Now, I'm not saying that this team is, we can't scrutinize this team. I'm not saying that we can't critique Daniel Jones and his play and how he should have played a little bit better. I'm not saying that, but we can't be completely down on this team, and it kind of sucks because when we think that we give up a touchdown at the half, we think that the game is over. We think that if we're down 3 points or a touchdown, the game is over, and we can't think that way. It's hard. I know I'm there with y'all, but we can't do that, man, because when you think that way, it's gonna happen. If you think that this team is going to lose, if you think that Daniel Jones is going to turn the ball over, if you have this negative mindset that your team is just going to suck that day, they're most likely going to suck. Most likely, what you're thinking is going to happen, man. You're manifesting that, and this team needs us, man. This team needs us. I mean, look at them, right? I mean, we're underperforming. We just lost Jason Garrett. We've had hell of a players get injured that weren't unfortunately being able to be in the lineup with us that we were expected to. But this team needs us as a fan base, man. I mean, we got to cheer them when they win, and when they lose, man, we can critique them. Tell them what they did wrong. Now, I'm not saying that we got to cheer them on all week. Cheer them on for a couple days. And by Friday, we back on our bullshit. But honestly, man, I couldn't be more happy with this win, man. I mean, we got, like I said, we got to take them as we take them, man. Devontae Smith played Jalen Hurts, would have had to throw ball perfectly, basically thrown. I'm there, yeah. There was one play, like I said, I think it was the last play of the game where Devontae Smith was wide open, and if Jalen Hurts sees him, man, that's a touchdown. Game is over right there, man. And unfortunately, for you guys at least, I mean, fortunately for us, Jalen Hurts didn't see him. And again, I got to give a lot of respect to the Eagles fans. I hate them, but y'all played a hell of a game. Y'all should have won that game. But hey, we were just a better team yesterday. Um, but I will say this much, man. If if Kadarius Toney would have been in that lineup, I guarantee you, man, he would have been the leading receiver yesterday. I guarantee you, Kadarius Toney would have carved up that defense. Kadarius Toney is a lethal weapon, and when you have a player like Kadarius Toney, you got to get the most out of him. Problem is, he's been injured. He's been injured. That's been the story of him, this whole season. And as much as I hate to say it, it's true. Now, I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to call him a bust. I've seen some Giants fans already calling him that. Don't understand that at all. But hey, uh, I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to convince y'all. I'm just here to talk my shit. You feel me? Now, looking at the rest of the New York Giants schedule, I think it's pretty favorable, man. I mean, we got the Dolphins in Miami next week. We got the Chargers after that. I believe we got Philly again after that. Then we got Dallas. Let me check one more time. Yeah, we got actually no, after the Chargers, we got the Cowboys, then we got Philly, then Chicago, and then Washington. Now, for me, the Cowboys kind of seem like they're on, they're kind of trending downwards. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. They kind of seem that way. Mike McCarthy, he actually just got put on the COVID list, so he's going to miss this week's game. But before I get to what I was going to say next, let me add the classified, Joel. How are you feeling, man? I'm still pumped from last night, man.
Dude, I'm on cloud nine right now.
Oh, likewise.
I am on cloud nine. Man, we beat the Eagles, the one team we wanted to beat this year, and we were all nervous as hell going in. And I love it when I predict the future. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna brag.
Joel, I need you to do that more often, man. I need you to do that more often because you have been. People have been calling you crazy, man, but you've been right. You've been right. That's all I'm gonna say. You've been right. I mean, and you know what, man? You gotta take them how you take them.
Right. Coach Jaden, hey guys, what's good? Glad y'all could make it today. Celebrating a victory today, man. Hit squad, I tell you what, man, that was a hell of a game to watch yesterday.
Oh, I loved it, man. I loved it, especially being with you and Pat yesterday. It was a great experience, man. And look, was I expecting us to win yesterday? To be real, I wasn't. Just because looking at our history with the Eagles, they usually get the win on us, but. Honestly, man, looking at Jalen Hurts, man, I'm pumped to play them again, man. I mean, like I said, he should have had damn near 7 interceptions in that game. Almost broke the record.
Yeah, we definitely put a dent in that the Eagles fan base with the ego and everything yesterday. The way they were talking going into that game. Look, first shout out. Okay, it's division games. Okay, we got to pump our chest a little bit. It's football. It's a fan base against a fan base. We're all going to do that. However, we can all still be civilized at the end of the day. I get it, Mark. Same way. But you know what? We're all football fans first. They did play a damn hell of a game because we should have had 30, 35 points on them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that many turnovers, and we only wound up with 16.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm there with you.
That is a problem. But now let's also look, and it's not an excuse, but DJ's and Freddie Kitchens are trying to put something together to make DJ look better. Yeah. And let DJ have control of this team and control of this offense. And I saw a little bit of that yesterday. I saw him stepping up in the pocket. I saw him dropping the ball, taking it and running for a couple of yards, not taking a sack. I saw him reading the field. I saw much better play out of DJ. And I'm not saying that he's the franchise, but if he continues to grow from that performance, and I see some content creators out right now that are just comparing numbers for DJ and saying they've had enough and they want to move on. Be careful what you wish for. I mean, I think right now DJ's the best option going forward into year 4 because then we can fix the whole team. We can get a defensive edge. We have the capital. It all depends on what we get for the next GM because Gettleman's not going to be here. I mean, things are coming out. Rumors are coming out. Could you imagine Daniel Jones and Freddie Kitchens if they got to start the year because Jason Garrett Joe Judge wanted to fire Jason Garrett November last year?
We would honestly, man. I think you can make the argument the offense would be a lot better than where it is right now.
We wouldn't be in a state the fan base for the New York Giants is right now if Joe Judge had the power to fire Jason Garrett when he fired Mark Colombo.
Yeah, facts. You are absolutely right, man. And honestly, hearing that Jason Garrett, hearing that Joe Judge wanted Jason Garrett gone last year, and the fact that he wasn't able to get rid of him, man, to me, kind of makes me lean more towards that he was kind of thrown on by John Mara. And
Right.
I think that's been an issue with John Mara for quite some time. I don't know. I think you have those owners that can do that. You look at Jerry Jones; he does that very well.
But then if you look at somebody like Dan Snyder, he doesn't do it very well.
Exactly. You look at John Mara; he don't do it very well.
Right.
I wish John Mara would just sit back, cut the checks, and let the football people do the football things, man.
Right.
You're good at making money. Stick with that.
Right.
Because obviously what you've been doing hasn't been working. And as much as I want to, as much as I want to get on Joe Judge, and rightfully so, there are a lot of reasons why we could get on Joe Judge, man. If Jason Garrett wasn't his guy, which I clearly think at this point he wasn't, let him get his guy. Because we're seeing when he has his guy, they do fairly well. I mean, look at Patrick Graham. Look at Rob Sale. As much as I hate this offensive line, I don't think any offensive line coach could come in and fix this offensive line with the talent we have currently. I don't see that. But I do think that in the beginning of the year when we had some players healthy, man, I mean, you look at that Saints game, man. I mean, the offensive line played pretty well. So I think that when Joe Judge does get his people in the building, for the most part, they do pretty well. Now, am I saying that, the next OC that, Judge brings in is going to have us looking like the Rams? No. But I do think that it would be a lot better than what we have with Jason Garrett. I mean, shit.
Hell yeah.
And I wasn't expecting – I think a lot of Giants fans were expecting this team to come out and throw – for 30 points, and we were gonna have this dominating win against the Eagles. Man, I mean, they had technically a short week. Really wasn't a short week, but technically a short week with the new offensive coordinator. They're not going to be able to dump a whole playbook and just change everything up in a week. It doesn't work that way. And honestly, man, if you're asking me, I think that as each game that we have going forward, we're going to see Freddie Kitchens get his hand in it a little bit more each step of the way. I really do think that in the Dolphins game, we're going to see a completely different offense than what we saw in this Philly game. Whether that means, we run the ball better, whether that means we throw the ball better and we get, some more points on the board. I think it's the little things of the armband. Taj, I know, had mentioned that on a stream on, I think it was Pat's stream.
Yep.
The armband, man. Why wasn't he wearing that before? Why wasn't he wearing that under Jason Garrett? And
even Shermer.
Even Shermer. Why wasn't he wearing that? You got to let these guys. You got to let DJ. Excuse me. You got to let DJ. Take control of this offense. I mean, I like that. He was doing audibles at the line a little bit more than what he usually does. You had mentioned it yesterday. He was moving around in the pocket. He was sliding up in the pocket. And I loved seeing that. He was able to sense when the pressure was coming. And honestly, man, as bad as the offensive line had played, because I thought they played meh, they were still able, at least passing wise, they were able to get DJ some time to, hit his players that he needed to hit.
How about the route scheme concept where we got Ross wide open across the middle underneath?
Oh, I loved it, man.
How about that screenplay that when Freddie Kitchens called that? Man, he had the Eagles on their heels on that play.
Facts, man.
And you know what? Daniel Jones didn't get sacked yesterday, and that wasn't because of the offensive line. No. Daniel Jones didn't get sacked because he was working the pocket, man.
Yeah, and you know what? They're looking at, how Daniel Jones played yesterday, man. I can't, as much as I want to get on him, because I don't think he played perfect. Again, I don't think
he didn't.
But as much as I want to get on him, man, he did what he had to do. He didn't play turnover football. I'm not going to say he played perfect, but he played a hell of a lot better than the guy across from him who A lot of people were saying that that was their franchise guy. I saw some Eagles fans comparing him to Lamar Jackson, dog. And I
Well,
said that on Lou's stream yesterday.
what's DJ supposed to do when, they get down into the red zone and then the damn guard goes false start? And then there's a holding penalty and it drives us back 20 yards out of field goal range.
You're
What's
absolutely
DJ
right.
supposed to do right there?
He can't, bro. He can't block everyone. He can't. He can't play wide receiver, man. He can't do everything, dog.
Meet the
But
Mets. What's good?
yeah, man, what's going on? Meet the Mets. But hey, he came in. He was efficient in the offense, man.
He didn't cause us to lose the friggin' game, did he?
Exactly. And honestly, I understand why there are Giants fans that got off the Daniel Jones train.
Yep.
I'm not one of them. I'm still on the train because I think that if you can build with this kid, he could be something special. And when I look at this offense, man, yeah, I look at that Tampa Bay game, right? What quarterback would be able to be efficient behind that offensive line? It seems like every snap they were in the backfield. I mean, and yeah, he had some boneheaded plays, but then you also look at the film and it's like the wide receivers weren't getting open. The route concepts, some of them did not make sense at all. And again, Jason Garrett wasn't scheming.
When we broke that film down, Hit Squad, I do want to point out, okay, Jason Garrett did have some good play calling in that game. The difference between Kitchens and Garrett between Tampa Bay and yesterday, the guys knew what they were supposed to do. The guys knew the routes they were supposed to run. The offensive line knew what blocks they were supposed to make. Even though they couldn't make them, they knew where they were supposed to be. When we broke that film down last Friday on Pat's channel, the receivers looked lost. They weren't running the right routes. There was confusion on the field. There was a lot of missed blocks. Pert made a missed block on that one DJ keeper that should have been a touchdown. It wasn't just the quarterback himself. It was the whole offensive team play. It was almost like Garrett's like, I'm telling you what we're running, practice it, go out and do it. It just looked like Garrett wasn't coaching, if that makes sense.
No, that does. I'm gonna be real with you. It does. It's the little things, man. It's the little things with Garrett that why is it that, right? I remember earlier in the week, we're practicing fade routes. Obviously, we're not in the practice. We're not, we're not at practice. We can't see what they're doing. But you're seeing beat reporters talking about, oh, this is the first time we're seeing the Giants practice fade routes
or back shoulder throws. Yes,
or back shoulder throws. It's like, then why did you sign? What were you doing when you signed Kenny Golladay, man? I mean, that's what he's known for. Why are you practicing this now? Why are you waiting all this time to practice this now? And
you don't even have the quarterback throwing them the ball.
Exactly. You got the trainers throwing him the ball. And that's why I keep saying, look, when DJ develops chemistry with Kenny Golladay, and I agree with you, Meet the Mets, look, the offense is still pretty bad. I'm not saying they're perfect. They're nowhere near perfect. But I really do think you give this dude an offensive line, that can be your guy. I'm just saying. I agree. That's just how I feel. I really do think that. Now, is he going to be, the Aaron Rodgers, the Patrick? No, he's not going to be that at all. But I think that he could be at least an above average quarterback. You provide him with that. And then it's like at the same time, yes, there are things that Daniel Jones has to fix, right? But you're also hearing that Jason Garrett made him into a one-read quarterback. Why are you making him into a one-read quarterback? Why are you making a QB that likes to take chances, likes to throw the ball down the field into this conservative ass quarterback? It doesn't make sense to me, man. But what's going on, Rodney? I'm gonna drop the link in the chat because I want to hear what you got to say, man. I'm gonna drop that right there for y'all, man. But as far as I'm concerned, man, anytime we beat Philly, man, you got it. Anytime we beat anyone, you got to take it because it's
a great day, man. I mean, look at what Kitchens did in just 6 days. I mean, Giants fans, can you not tell me you saw a different DJ out there yesterday?
I thought he played a lot better.
Yeah,
didn't play great, but I thought he played a lot better than what we're used to seeing.
exactly. I mean, that's something to build off of right there. A quarterback that's moving in the pocket, that's making completions, that didn't turn the ball over. You know,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
don't throw it to friggin' Ingram no more. I'm sorry. I'm
yeah,
so
and
done with that guy.
yeah, and looking at that, man, I mean, when I saw that play, I remember saying I didn't know if that was more on Jones or if that was more on Ingram. And when I went back and watched it, dog, you gotta catch that. You
Yeah.
gotta catch that. That hits you right in the hands, man. You gotta catch that. What's going
Yeah.
on, Rod? How you feeling, man?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's it going there, Joe, Chris?
Hey, not bad. How you doing today?
Not bad, man. Chilling,
I'm
chilling.
good. I'm good, man. Just enjoying that win. It's always a good day when the Cowgirls lose and we beat the Pigeons. So it's all
Yes,
good.
sir. And I'm with you, man. I wanted to get your opinion, man. How you feeling about the game? What were your takeaways? Did you like anything you saw? Did you dislike anything you saw? How you feeling, man?
I saw the game. I watched the whole thing. There were a lot of things that I saw that I liked. You know, I liked that the offense. It seemed like it moved a little differently, but then it
Yes.
started to get real stagnant. Come like the third from fourth quarter, it started to become where
Well,
Jason Garrett didn't leave. But in the same sense, it's almost like I mean, I can't even really put it into words. This offense is like, I, it's bad, but there's so many things that can make it better.
well,
And
did
Yeah.
you see the size of Garrett or Kitchen's play sheet yesterday? It was the size of an envelope.
It was like
yeah,
one piece of paper.
So
yeah.
he limited to work with. I thought Kitchens did a hell of a job with the size of that freaking thing. I mean, he didn't have a lot of plays on it.
Well, my thing is like, okay, a lot of people, I was on Twitter earlier and I saw a lot of people saying, well, you know, same old offense, this, that, and the third. Is like, okay, how much do you really think was going to change
Right.
bringing in Kitchens within a week? It's still Jason Garrett's offense. There's nothing, I'm sorry, playbook.
Right.
It's the playbook. Nothing really is going to change until if they decide to bring Kitchens back, then it'll be his system and he can probably implement something, to where it's a little bit more exciting. But
Right.
that's until next year, even if they bring Kitchens back. And if they bring in somebody else, that's a whole new system that the team has to learn. So as of right now, from the way I see it, it's like it's just bad. But I do see potential in the fact that the offense did run smoothly. I like the fact that they got away from running the ball constantly. It's like first and second down, everybody knew it was a run. Everybody knew. They got
Yeah.
away from that this time. They actually started throwing on first down, opening up that field. Instead of using half of the field, they were using the whole entire field. I like to see that. It just, we got to get a better run game to help out DJ. You know, we can harp all we want about offensive line. That's not going to get fixed until next year, hopefully.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
this is what we have for right now, and we have to literally just accept it for what it is and just pray that this team can build on and get better every single game. Not make those things, not make mental mistakes, critical mistakes that's going to hamper us, because as we've seen right now, this bend don't break with the defense. It's working. I wish it would work better, but it's working. But the defense is what's keeping us in games, and it shouldn't be like that.
I'm there with you, man. I mean, what we're doing right now, yeah, it's working. And in terms of the defense, like I said this earlier in the stream, I mean, outside that Bucks game, I mean, I'm very pleased with this defense. I mean, we had Patrick Mahomes on his heel. You take out that one penalty against O'Shea Zimenez, and that's a dub right there. And I feel like that's been the story of this team, this whole year. How many games can we look back at where it's
Hey,
like we should have won?
man, I tell you guys what, though, let's not forget we're the New York Giants. We win Super Bowls because of a defense.
Absolutely, absolutely, man.
Oh
And you
You
yeah,
know what?
know?
It's a little unfortunate because we had at least me, I can't speak for everyone. I had high expectations
I
for
did
this
too.
team going forward. Going into the season. Excuse me. but they're still not out of it, man. I mean, they're really not. And when you look at the rest of the teams that are in front of us, outside Philly, who has an easy schedule going forward, I mean, it's not impossible, man. I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh, we're gonna go to the playoffs, but
Guys,
it's not impossible, man.
I'm not going to lie. Every time I think of this game and I think of the games coming up, I'm telling you what, the Giants are going to go on a run right here.
I'd love to see it. I
The
would really love
Giants,
to see
I
it.
get goosebumps right now just thinking about this and talking about it. Guys, I'll tell you what, this right now is definitely Joe Judge's team. We know Joe Judge has control now. There's no more excuses for this man. Mara, I think, is learning now to keep his hands out of the cookie jar. All right. So, and not only that, I think the next GM is going to come from the inside. It wouldn't surprise me if it's not Abrams, because let me tell you, if Judge goes on and can win 5 out of the next 6 games or even run the table, and we can somehow make a playoff bid after the start of this season, and you know what? We're giving Kitchens, 6 weeks to warm up for a playoff run. Guys, I tell you what, I think we could do some damage. I really do. I'm not going to think negative anymore. Damn it, we won a football game against a division rival. Was it the best performance in the world? No, it wasn't. But it was damn good enough to win the game. And whether the defense won us that game or the offense won us that game, I don't really care at this point. But it definitely seems like they're doing work right now to improve the weak links on this team. They're trying to develop plays. They're trying to get players ready. They're doing everything in their book to get these guys on a winning platform. And you know what? Sometimes it only takes one win to get everybody on the same page and start working a little bit extra harder. Play a little bit more crisper. Play mistake-free football. It's not perfect football. It's mistake-free. Make your block. Do not get a stupid penalty. Make special teams do your job. Special teams is a huge part in this game. Good kickoff returns, not turning the ball over. It's the little things. And right now, I think Judge, after this win, is just going to come off and congratulate these guys and say, look, this is what we have to work on because this was not crisp. This was not clean. Let's get to work. And I think these guys right now are definitely buying into this system.
Well,
I agree, man. I really do, man.
well, I'll say this, Joel, I agree with you 100%. The one thing I will say that is never going to change, and I'm not trying to dampen anybody's mood, but
Right.
Solder is never going to.
Oh, I agree.
I'm going to say this right now. That play that I'm not sure who came off that edge. I want to say it was Cox, or I'm not sure who it was, but he literally. I cannot stress this enough because I have no idea why, and I've been tweeting this for I don't know how long. It's almost comical right now that I even should say it. What are these coaches seeing from film? And they can watch the film, go over it with the players, and the players have to see this too. What are they seeing that they are literally in agreement that Nate Solder is the answer at right tackle? I don't understand it. I literally do not understand it. This is week in and week out when they play. You see the same thing. Nothing has changed.
Yep.
Nothing.
We're not even get Pert. We're not even repping Pert at all over there. We're not, how Judge would switch linemen. We're not even seeing that with him. What the hell's Pert doing in practice where he should not be the starter? That's my question.
Exactly. I mean, something has to be going on because you're telling me that you trust Nate Solder over Pert. If we're all in agreement that Solder is literally horrible, are we saying the same thing where Pert is concerned, like he's worse than Solder?
Right.
If that's the case, why did you even draft him? Why did you even give him the opportunity to play? It makes no sense to me. None whatsoever.
I said it earlier. It got to be that contract, man. There's no other reason why you can't tell me nothing that tells me that Nate Solder deserves to start over Matt Peart. even if, okay, for the sake of argument, Matt Parrott isn't playing well enough to beat him out of his own position, give the kid some reps.
Right.
Give him some reps. See what you got in the player that you drafted,
You know,
because Nate Solder's not going to be here next year.
well,
Get him some
Nate
time.
Solder wasn't good enough to play left tackle, so you played Pert at left tackle over Nate Solder, but you won't play Pert over right tackle with Nate Solder?
Make it make sense, man.
Come on.
I mean, I'll put it to you like this. When Andrew Thomas went down, they tried Nate Solder at left tackle. It didn't work. They swapped. They didn't work out, 100%. But I would have to say that at least in that period, you saw what you needed to see from Pert. You saw
Right.
He's not the best. Okay, he's not the best. He's a work in progress. He's a project. You're gonna have to work with him no matter what. But there is no working with Solder. This guy's been in the league how long now? This isn't this Nate Solder that was playing with the Patriots. Okay?
Thanks.
And if that's the case and he was that bad then that just goes to show you just how good of a quarterback Tom Brady is, because he made that offensive line look beautiful. He must have made Solder look good.
Right.
So, I just, like I said, there's a lot of things that's wrong with the team, and we can go back and forth on what those things are. Just this one little thing that is possibly that they can possibly change, they're not willing to do it. I don't understand why. Why would you constantly start Nate Solder over Pert? That right side is horrible. Why? I'll put it to you like this. If you have to bring in a second tight end because you have to be running this 13 personnel just to help him block, then that should tell you something.
Right.
Get him off the field.
Even if you gotta do that, man, and have Saquon chip him or Devontae Booker chip, whoever's coming off the edge on Soldier's side, give that man some help.
They
man.
did. Did you see that one play last week
They
with
tried.
Tampa Bay? Booker chipped him, like knocked Pierre-Paul back on his feet, but Solder still fell on his arse.
He's so fucking garbage.
You saw that, right?
He's so fucking garbage.
I saw it. It's every game you see this.
Yes.
I like to look at the offensive line when there's when the game is on. Everything else is secondary, but I like to look at the offensive line because you know what? I want to see what it is that we're saying that DJ doesn't do this right or doesn't do that right. I'll give you this. DJ has his faults. He does.
Yes.
Be better in a lot of areas. But, and I will say this until the cows come home, and I would debate this with anybody. No, with the exception of Andrew Thomas, no QB in this league right now would be able to succeed with this offensive line.
Right.
Facts.
No one. I don't care who you have. Deshaun Watson, yeah, he did put up big numbers behind a bad offensive line. So what? It wasn't as bad as this.
Yeah. You're 100% right.
Justin Herbert did, he was brilliant last year in his rookie year, and he had a bad offensive line.
Yes.
But he had a good OC, and at least that line knew how to block.
Facts.
Yes.
Okay, they blocked. It may not have been the prettiest thing, but they blocked. We don't have a proper run game because they can't run block. We don't have a proper pass game because they can't pass block. These are all
We can't
those
even
little...
at first, 4th and goal in inches, and we still can't even push the defense back an inch.
Thank you. Daniel Jones barely. I think they gave it to him. They probably felt sorry for us and gave it to him because literally there was no push.
Right.
That offensive line, there was none at all.
And, that's a lot of the reasons why George can't go for it on 4th and 1 and has to punt. I know I'd love to see the, quarterback sneak or whatever, or power formation and get that first down on 4th and 1. You can't do it right now. You got 40% chance of it working.
And I think a lot of that has to do with a lot, it basically, it's got to boil down to trust. And I know Joe Judge is the head coach, and it's pretty much his say. But to me, like I said, just in my opinion, I don't think he trusts Daniel Jones to do much behind this offensive line. I can't see an OC really having much trust in Daniel Jones to do much behind this offensive line because they know what the problem is.
Right.
The problem, but again, I'll go back. Y'all might agree with me. If you knew what the problem was before this season started, why did you not address it adequately?
Well,
in the draft?
they tried
It's true.
to. Okay, you know, I want a shot at this. You know, they tried to, but two guys retired, and then everybody made the Giants the clown show of the football league, and they didn't talk about how the Raiders had guys that they signed and they retired right there. There were other teams I remember. I'm not going to name a team because I don't remember if it was or not, but other teams had guys that they signed and they would retire. So we got screwed right there when we signed two offensive linemen and they retired. All right. And then, you know, at that time of the year, there's just nobody out there. So they did the next smartest thing, which was, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go out, wait for cuts. Okay, see what guys are going to get cut. Maybe we can pick up some guys that have been through training camp, that are in shape, that might possibly work out, and we can have them on the team for 8 or 9 weeks before we come across an injury. We can develop them. We can get them to know the playbook. Unfortunately, the offensive line injuries happened way too soon for them to develop, to learn, to process, to get into camp. You know, they missed out on all of camp. So when that happens, and then they got thrown to the wolves, it's just like Andrew Thomas last year got thrown into the wolves, didn't have an off season, and he's going up against the best pass rushers the first 6 weeks of the NFL season in his first rookie start. How did he do? He was not very good. But then Judge, you know, the offensive line coach and everybody got with Andrew Thomas. They got him more settled, more developed, more prepared. His confidence level rose. In the second half of that season, he took right off and he became one of the better tackles. And then this year, he knew what he had to work on in the offseason. He worked on that, and he developed into a top 5 left tackle. So when you miss that time, you miss that development, and I get it. Okay, maybe we should have drafted somebody. But let's remember, Hernandez was a second-round pick. Pert was a third-round pick. Lemieux was a fifth-round pick. It seems like we pick on these offensive linemen that even the analysis agree are stud guys that have a future in the NFL. They're liking these picks that the Giants were getting with those 3 guys, but they just didn't work out. So when you're behind the 8 ball, you're just, I get it. You're trying to catch your tail, but to get the weapons. And again, who said we needed weapons? It wasn't only Gettleman, but Mara come right out and said, we need to get Daniel Jones some weapons. And now finding out that Garrett was protected under Mara, I think Mara had his hand in the cookie jar saying, yeah, I like Judge's. We need to trade this pick down and pick up Tony because we, screw the offensive line. We'll go with what we have.
I could believe that. I really could. And honestly, man, that was my biggest gripe with the New York Giants going into the draft. Coming out of the draft was I thought we were banking a little bit too hard on the players that we currently had. Obviously, the past is the past, but you could make the argument it would fall on Mara. I could definitely see that would be a Mara decision. I could also, in the same sense, see that being a Judge decision. I think that he tries to get the most out of his players.
Right.
We see that, and unfortunately, it just hasn't worked. Whether that's been due to talent, whether that's been due to injury or these players retiring, we as an organization have been through a lot since the start of the season.
Let's go back a little bit farther. Hit Squad. Jerry Reese drafted Eric Flowers, Weston Richburg, Justin Pugh. Are they on the team?
Yeah, you're right.
And those were drafts that these guys are starting and playing in the NFL, but they're not for us.
But my thing is with that, and you brought out some good names. It's good that you drafted these guys, but how are you developing them? Because if I'm not mistaken, Eric Flowers was a tackle, but he is striving now as a guard.
Right. But that was a Jerry Reese, and that was Ben McAdoo, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it was.
All right, and then he went to Shermer. Or did he got let go before Shermer?
No, I think he got let go before Shermer. I think.
But still, okay, you know, and then Pugh had injuries. Okay, he had a back problem.
Yep.
So I'm not going to blame him for not signing him to big money because, you know, if you got a back problem, you got 50-50 chance of lasting in the NFL. He's just lasted.
Yeah, that's right.
And Weston Richburg, I'm sorry, but that guy was getting blown up all the time. But there again, we're going back to the coaches. Look at the coaches that these guys had.
Exactly. And that was the biggest thing is coaching. You know, what's going on with Pert? That's the question is like, what's the deal with the coaching around Pert? Because, again.
Right.
Being Solder. You see what Solder brings to the table every single game. You see it. So why are you not coaching Pert into the, you know, to the point where he can come in and be better than Solder? So there's a drop off there somewhere. Something's not happening to where, like you said, it could be the contract, you know, Head. It could be that to where it's a guarantee. Like, look, this is your last year. You're guaranteed that you're going to play every game. Maybe that's in the contract. Who knows?
Right.
If
it could be.
You know, but the thing is, if you're a team that's talking about winning and going out there and, as Judge says all the time, putting the best product on the field.
Yep.
I don't care who you are. I will tell you this now. Stevie Wonder could tell you that that's a bad product on the field when you put Solder on. Okay? I'm not trying to, you know, talk bad about Stevie Wonder, but it's just the point of the whole entire thing. This is a fact. So how much are you trusting in your own words? As far as no Judge is concerned, because you always talk about best product. This is not the best product. It's not. I'm sorry to say it like that, but at least one offensive lineman I would have been happy with in last year's draft. At least just one. Granted that we had, you know, the injuries and everything, which, you know, nobody foresee. So in that sense, I can understand, but I would have been happy with one.
I get it, okay, but you know, Lemieux struggling right out of camp, Gates getting hurt. Because I'll tell you what, that rookie cornerback looked really good yesterday, filling in when Adoree Jackson got hurt.
Yeah,
that kid, I'm sorry, but wow, what? Even though we didn't get an offensive lineman, and one offensive lineman is not going to fix this, that pick at corner when the Giants traded up for that kid right now is looking like the right pick. I'm sorry I have to go down that road, but man.
No, you're good. I agree with you on that. You know, Aaron Robinson is turning out to be, you know, a pretty good pickup from, you know, what we've seen.
Exactly.
You know, it's just that, you know, for some reason, and like I said, and I agree with you just now with what you said. It's going to take more than one offensive lineman. But in the way I was looking at it is, you take one offensive lineman, now you're building to where, you know what? God forbid we do have to go out there and draft another QB. At least we're in the midst of getting this offensive line the way it's supposed to be. So instead of being reactive, we're thinking proactive.
Well,
you're right.
I would have taken just one.
Don't we have that one kid we got undrafted, that center?
Yeah, Brett Higbee from Florida. He doesn't even play.
Right.
I want to see him get some. I want to honestly see him get some reps too. I mean, if you're all about letting your players play, man. I mean, let them play.
You have to let these kids play. You have to, or else you will never know what you have. And you can't wait to the preseason and then off season, and then OTAs and everything else to try to get these guys up to speed. You want them going up against opposition who are good, who has those stud defensive ends, those stud guards, defensive tackles. You want them to have this experience because now you'll see what you have.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I mean, I definitely wanted to at least get one offensive lineman in this in the past draft. And I thought that it was pure negligence of the New York Giants to try to put a Band-Aid on the offensive line, you know, a week before the season started. You know, they're running around with that like a chicken with no head trying to find offensive linemen. And I mean, yeah, we had a couple players retire which I mean it sucks seeing. But we've had a lot of players underperform as well. I didn't think that Billy Price would be this bad. I didn't think
I
that
didn't
Matt
either.
Skura would be this bad either. And it's like week in and week out, it's like it's always something new with the two of them.
Sakura looked damn good when he was filling in for the Ravens.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like it makes me wonder. Is it coaching? Is it the player itself? Like, what is it exactly to where?
Okay, well let's look at this because I brought this up to other guys, and I'd love to get your guys' opinion on this. Now, Jason Garrett is the offensive play caller, and the blocking schemes and the way they block, that's all goes with Garrett's game plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? Maybe Garrett's blocking schemes were like too complicated, or the coach and Garrett weren't getting along and they couldn't work as a cohesive unit, and because that could bring up problems too. I mean, if two coaches don't like each other, we saw it the last 10 weeks with Garrett.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been having this mindset for quite some time. We have so many coaches on this damn team. I think we lead the league in how many coaches we have on
We're
our
up there,
team.
but yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely up there. And I think when you have that many people, coaching these players, they're not all going to be on the same page. I feel like if you were to ask all of them the same question, you're going to get different answers per person that you ask. So I don't know if it's a coaching thing. I'm really not sure. I will say this much, right? When we fired Mark Colombo last year, and Dave DeGuglielmo came in and took over, the offensive line played better, right? Then when we bring in Rob Sale this year, the offensive line had moments where it was playing better, but then it had moments where they looked so confused. I don't remember which game it was. People were screenshotting it where two offensive linemen were just looking at each other. Like they had like spun around and were just looking at each other. So it could be Garrett. It really could be. But it also could be coaching as well. So I'm not too entirely sure, to be honest. I know that's not the best answer. But for me, I guess if I could give one, I think it's coaching. I really do think that.
And with Garrett gone right now, that's going to answer a lot of questions about this team, and it's really going to start, showing exactly what we have and what the problem was.
Facts. And I agree with you there, man. I mean, I really do think that if Freddie Kitchens can at least do what he did for Baker Mayfield for Daniel Jones, then this offensive line could take the strides that it needs to take. I know that's a lot of faith. I know that's a big what if. But I'm just saying, man. I don't know. It can't be worse than Jason Garrett, man, because Jason Garrett, I'm gonna always remember Jason Garrett. At least for me, I know I'm a little younger, but for me, it's like this is the worst offensive coordinator I've seen on the Giants, man.
Man,
That's
he
how
got
I'm
his
gonna
play
remember.
calling. He got his play calling taken away from Dallas for a freaking reason, and then we bring him in as an OC. God, that's a Mara move if I ever heard one.
That was the worst thing that they could have ever done. I mean, when they said it, you're hiring Jason Garrett. First thing that I thought was, why? He just got fired from Dallas.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't make sense, and I know a lot of Cowboys fans were, at least in my messages, telling me that he's not a good coach, he's not a good offensive coordinator,
Right.
and that we would regret it. And it's the only time I'm gonna give Cowboys fans credit because they were definitely right.
It's right now, this is a very, very important next 6 weeks for this whole football team. It really
Right.
is. And
You're
if we
right.
go on a roll,
Oh man, shit.
we can get to a 500 club or a little above 500.
Oh, totally. I'm telling you, man. And honestly, I'm not ruling out that they can't go on a run. I'm not, because, like I said, outside of that Chargers game, I think that the rest of the schedule looks pretty favorable. I mean, honestly, yeah, Dallas, but we didn't have the full roster healthy when we played Dallas the last time. I mean, really, the offense was Kadarius Toney, and you had Mike Lennon throwing the ball for the most part.
And our quarterback got knocked out, and Galladay got taken out, and
Exactly.
but this next game, this Miami game is going to be really important because Miami's got a pretty good pass rush.
Oh, we're gonna win that game. I'm telling you.
Miami's got a pretty good pass rush, and how DJ manipulates the pocket this next week is going to be a big telling in his progress from, Sunday against the Eagles to against that Dolphins defense. So,
yeah, no, you're right, man. And look, the Dolphins have a very good defense. I was saying this yesterday. I just don't want to see Freddie Kitchens take that conservative approach because they have Xavier Howard and Byron Jones back there. Xavier Howard's still a monster. He's still getting picks. But at the same time, man, if there's any defense that can confuse Tua Tagovailoa, it's this defense, man. Make this dude see ghosts.
right.
But you know what? Let me say this much, right? Let me look at the schedule, right? Because I was watching the Chargers game for a little bit yesterday because I was trying to go back and forward in between games. And the Chargers, man, I mean, Denver has a good defense, man, but the Chargers, they're not unbeatable, man.
No,
And
they're not.
They're not unbeatable. And when I was watching that game, man, I mean, they were getting hits on Justin. Now, obviously, they got a better pass rush than we do. I mean, I'm gonna just say how it is. But with the kind of coach that we have with Patrick Graham, he could scheme up a pass rush. Now,
Man,
has it been working?
let's look at the Kansas City game, my guy. How did we play Kansas City compared to how Dallas played Kansas City?
It's true. It's
And then the
absolutely true.
Chargers beat Dallas by what? 3 points?
I think Dallas. I think Dallas beat the Chargers. I think they did.
Did they? I thought the Chargers went down and kicked the field goal.
I'm gonna check real quick. I think they lost. That was Dallas that did that. Yeah,
Dallas. Oh, it was Dallas that did that?
Dallas won,
yeah, okay.
by 3 points.
But the Chargers were in that freaking game with the
They
Cowboys.
They should have won that game.
Right, big time.
And it's like I like Justin Herbert. I know. I think we can make the argument that if he came in the draft, he would have been our quarterback right now. But nah, man. I mean, if you're telling me, man, honest, I'm gonna be real with y'all. If we beat, when we beat the Miami Dolphins, because honestly, man, that's the one team throughout our tenure playing them that we play pretty well. At least for the AFC East, I think that's the AFC East. The Dolphins are a team that we play pretty well. If we can get that win against Miami, man, that's going to give this team the confidence that they can go out there and compete with these teams. I know that they're feeling good right now beating Philly. I know, but getting another win, getting a nice 2-game winning streak, just a winning streak period, that's going to really push this team. We could compete with these teams. And looking at the rest of the schedule, again, man, it's pretty favorable. I really, the only team that somewhat makes me nervous is the Cowboys, and that's just because they have Dak and they have that firing power. But again, they look like they're trending in the opposite direction. I'm just calling it how I'm calling it, man. I mean, they really look like they're trending in the opposite direction.
Right.
The Bears aren't beating us. I'm sorry. The Bears are not beating the Giants. And we should have beaten Washington when we first played them. So I don't know, man. I mean, I could definitely see that run coming, but I think the run would come if they beat the Dolphins.
I agree.
Can see that, man. And
this is a huge, huge game for the Giants. If we could put 2 wins in a row together and boost confidence for everybody, you know what a 2-3 win streak does for the look at the Dolphins, for example. They're riding a 4-game high. Could you imagine if the Lions put a couple of games together? Ain't nobody going to want to play the Lions. They're playing tough every friggin' game. They've covered every point spread so far. The last, 4 games?
Yeah.
And the last point spread was 3.5 against the Bears. They covered that. They only lost by 2. They lost on a 66-yard field goal to the Ravens.
Yeah, there you go. What is that? Mark the Blue Giant says, we're winning all these games. Let the streak begin.
I agree.
Here's the key for next week. We have to do something about the Dolphins pass rush.
Yeah.
If we can mitigate that to the point where it's non-existent or use it to our advantage, then we have a good chance of beating them. Because while their offense, I'm not going to, we got to put pressure on Tua to make bad decisions, but we got to do something about the pass rush.
Yes.
As long as you can get, take that pass rush away from Miami, because that's what they're building off of with a lot of their wins. Their defense is literally making it hard for offenses to really, really get down the field and do what they have to do because of that pass rush. So if we can do something to mitigate that, make it non-existent, we really have a good chance of beating Miami.
Jaden, I mean, yeah, the Lions are ass, but if they could stop the stupid penalties on themselves, are they a team that you would want to play right now?
No,
they can put up points.
Right? That's what
they can put up points.
I'll call myself out. I said this a couple weeks back when, man, we were playing like ass. I said I wouldn't be surprised if we played the Lions and we lost.
Right.
Because they really. I don't know what it is with Detroit. Not to go on a tangent, I don't know what it is with Detroit. They stay in these close games and then they just collapse, man.
Right.
I don't understand. I feel bad for Lions fans, man.
I do too.
I don't know if I don't know if Campbell is the answer, man, but y'all got to figure it out somehow.
You know what? He might be, man, because that team is fighting. I mean, they haven't won a game yet this year, but they come out the first 3 quarters and they're giving every team all that they can handle.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what the Giants really have been trying to do. I mean, outside of the Rams game and the Tampa Bay game, we've been giving teams all they can handle. And then yesterday we gave the Eagles more than they could handle. Granted, we should have put up 30, 35 points and didn't, but.
Yeah, that's the thing. We need to start capitalizing on turnovers, man. I mean.
We do, but I didn't expect that offense to come out and put up 20 points, 30 points. I really didn't.
I would have been okay if there were at least, 4 turnovers. If you could get 3 points out of it, at least that's a plus.
Yeah. Well, how big was that Graham Gano field goal that he missed? How big was that at the end of the game?
Exactly. I mean, it's just those little things, right there that, like, we're sitting here at the end of the game and we're watching and we're praying like, okay, Philly's got the ball. They're driving down. Come on.
Thank God Sirianni tried to have Hurts fitted into a tight window at the end of the second half, and Crowder got that interception.
That's true. At the second half, end of the first half, yeah. But it's things like that worries me a bit about the offense because we're hoping, we're hoping that teams don't drive down the field on us and score because we cannot capitalize on those turnovers the way we should be because our offense can't generate points like that. And that's the bad part about it. We have to be able, like I said, even if it's 3 points, those 3 points add up. You got 4 turnovers, you got 3 points. Those things add up to the point where we don't have to sit there and worry about whether or not Philly's going to drive down and score a touchdown and beat us. Those points that we missed out or that we left on the field, we wouldn't even have to worry about that. Okay, let them drive. Go ahead, do your best. We're still going to stop you, but it's not going to make a difference at that point.
Right. It's like that Daniel Jones. You never throw across your body, but he did it. It was a great play.
No, it definitely was.
You're right. It is those little things. Sometimes you do have to take a chance, and there's a time to take a chance. There's not a time to take a chance. And you know what? It's just everything clicked out for us yesterday. And you know what? That's a damn good way to go into out of a division game, a win. Everything went in your favor to prove that you're not a bad football team. You had chance. Look, you guys can say we need points off of turnovers. I'm going to go with this. The defensive backs caught the ball. They didn't drop an interception.
You're right about that, Joe.
Yep.
What were we complaining about? They dropped it. But now we're complaining because we got a pick. We didn't get 7. But the cornerbacks caught the ball. The safety caught the ball.
And I've been complaining about that. I'll put myself out there. I've been getting on the Dory Jackson all season. That
right.
Works for hands, man.
But guys, that's why I say when we saw improvement, we really saw improvement. Guys were playing better. They were playing crisper. There was good angles on the tackler. We did the exact game plan they wanted. That game plan was, we're going to let them run the ball. They're going to get 200 yards. But Sirianni likes to throw it. And we're just going to contain Jalen Hurts, get him nervous, because all you got to do is just get that pocket to close up a little bit. He gets happy feet, nervous. He wants to run. There were no real lanes to run yesterday. And when you can do that to him, that confuses the hell out of him, and he doesn't know what to do because it's not an RPO.
Yeah.
When he has to drop back and pass and you can close that pocket on him, you saw what he was doing. He was looking to escape. He couldn't escape. So then he looked back upfield and there was nobody there, or he missed wide open receivers.
Yeah, that McKinney pick, he stared down that receiver the whole entire way.
And hi,
Stared him
Xavier
down.
McKinney. Hi, Xavier.
Yep. I mean, that McKinney pick, it was in the right place at the right time because McKinney read Jalen Hurts' eyes.
It was a
He
beautiful
did not-
defensive plan by Graham.
Oh yeah, he did not take his eyes off of the right side of that field that whole entire play. He stared that receiver down and just tossed it up and prayed, hey, well, I'm gonna send it up there. But he didn't think that McKinney was gonna, cover that amount of ground to get that pick. I mean, that's the same, pretty much. That's the same thing that he did in the Derek Carr Raiders game. Read his eyes the whole entire way, and literally jumped around and got the pick. So.
And that's why I say, there's more to it than just, Daniel Jones, if he's the quarterback or not, man. I mean, look, I get it. Like we started off, there's still fan base that have given up on Jones, and there's still a few of us that still believe in him. But if you're telling me that whole Giants team didn't go out there yesterday and it looked better from top to bottom, you didn't watch the game that I watched.
Yep.
Yo, Miz,
Hey,
what's good,
going
my
on,
guy?
Miz? What's going
What's
on,
up, Miz?
That's what I'm saying. You didn't watch the game I saw if you didn't see improvement in all three phases of football. I mean, my God, look at the oh God, what's the returner's name there? It starts with a P.
Pharaoh Cooper.
Yeah, Pharaoh Cooper. Look at the energy he brought off of a kickoff, off of a punt. He got a nice little 10 return, and he's jumping up and down, going to the sidelines. Like, come on, guys. Yeah, I did a damn good job. Let's go. Let's go. And those guys were, when you got players coming out of the gate doing that, we're not losing this freaking game. That just bled off to everybody else. Daniel Jones comes out with a great first drive. We're moving the ball. The fourth quarter, we actually burned time off the clock. That was a 7-minute drive.
Yeah.
Instead of 3 and out and punt, that was a 7-minute drive. That killed the Eagles right there. They're like, we can't stop this team. We got down, kicked another field goal. We're up by 6. That was huge because now Philadelphia can't just get down to the 30 and kick a field goal, which they could have done.
Yeah, I want to see
that was winning football. That was game-winning football. That's what the game dictated to do. You don't leave them any time on the clock. They had to burn their timeouts. They don't have those anymore. That Daniel Jones where they rolled him out to the right. If it's there, you take it. If not, slide down in bounds. That was the best play of the freaking game. They tried to go for it. It wasn't there. So we'll just, okay, there's your last timeout. So you don't have 1:30 and 1 timeout left. Beautiful play calling, beautiful execution by everybody on that. Gano bangs it through. We're up by 6. Guess what? Go down and score a touchdown on this defense the way they're playing today. They just got 7 minutes of rest on the bench. Come on, bring it on.
Yeah.
You can't ask for better football than that.
And when you look at it, man, I mean, I think it was they had like 2 minutes and 50 something seconds left. And the Eagles were like marching down on us. I thought that they were about to score. And Dexter Lawrence comes up huge.
Yeah,
right? And he causes the fumble on Boston Scott, who's been known to kill us. This team is finding ways to win. We're used to not winning. We're still learning.
God damn, I'm getting chills just talking about this.
I'm just saying, man.
Damn, Hit Squad.
We're finding ways to win, man. I mean, and it's not going to be perfect. Yes, would I love this team to come out and score points like the Rams or score points like the Packers? Man, I would love that, man. But unfortunately, we're just not there yet. So I'm gonna take them how we take them. I don't care if it's 2-0. I'm gonna take it how we can get it, man, because I'm tired of having to come on here or on streams and it's like, why did we lose? What's going on with this team, man? I mean, how many times can we say that we beat the Eagles? I mean, right now I think we're on a 2-game winning streak because we won the last time we played them and this time. But how many times can we say that? You know, it's like they pencil us in as wins the same way we do with Washington.
Hey, highlight what Jaden just said down there because that was my next point. Just wait, guys. Just wait till Kitchens gets a hold of this kid.
I'm excited, man. I'm not expecting Shepard at this point, man. I hate to say it. I'm not expecting him. But yeah, I want to see what Freddie Kitchens does with Kadarius Toney because I'm there with you, Jaden. If he could take advantage of what we have with Kadarius Toney, this offense will take off.
Listen, Kitchens knows how to use speed. Kitchens knows how to use wide receivers with speed. John Ross, Kadarius Toney. You got Kenny Galladay out there, the tall receiver. You got Robinson, the other tall receiver.
Yeah.
You put Toney and you put Ross in the slots and you leave the big guys on the outside. Who are you doubling?
Exactly, man.
Who are you doubling?
Exactly. And Saquon, look, Saquon is still trying to get his legs under him. I think a lot of people and kind of myself, we're kind of expecting him to, play a lot better than what he has. But he's been injured. And when you're coming off an ACL, man, that's like a 2-year process. I mean, look at Dalvin Cook, man. I mean, it's really that second year where these players feel like they're their normal selves. And I think we got a little glimpse last night. Yesterday.
That's where I was going. Yep.
How Saquon can be when he's healthy, man. I think honestly, man, a lot of us forget the kind of talent that Saquon is when he's healthy. Because that dude is a game changer. You have to account for Saquon Barkley. And if you don't, you're gonna really regret it. You're really gonna regret that, man. So I'm there with you, man. I mean, hopefully, I want to see Kadarius Toney get used in the same way that the 49ers used Deebo Samuel, because I think that's a good comparison for Kadarius Toney.
Yes.
And Deebo Samuel, man. I mean, he just eclipsed 1,000 yards yesterday.
Yep.
For the first time, and it's like they're using him in the run game. They're using him in the pass game. I've seen him throw the ball a couple times. I mean, he literally reminds me of Kadarius Toney. But I think Kadarius Toney could be more elusive. I think that Kadarius Toney has a higher ceiling than Deebo Samuel. I might sound like a little bit of a homer there. I know some people might not agree. But that's just me. But the Giants, man, they're still trying to figure things out. And I know that there was people wanting Joe Judge gone, but he's not going to be gone, man. I'm telling you, he's going to be here next year. I think they're really trying to emphasize that, especially with how we've handled our last 2 head coaches.
Well, I'll tell you this. Jaden, you made a good point. I want to see what Kitchens will do when Kadarius Toney gets back. That's going to be very interesting to see. But something that I've said, for the longest time, where Saquon is concerned, he's an explosive back, but he is not a power back. He is not that, hit the hole, power back that, we pretty much want him to be, but he's not that.
Yep.
He likes to bounce it outside. Sometimes he does a little bit too much bouncing, but he likes to bounce it out. He wants to get that home run, that home run, pretty much. I want them to use Saquon like they use Alvin Kamara. Use him like that. You have them, you have Booker there. He's your power back. Let him get up the middle and get those, 4, 5, 6 yards. But use Saquon the same way they use Alvin Kamara. Get him on those wheel routes, those check downs out in the pit, and let him do what he has to do. Saquon works better in space.
Not to interrupt, but breaking news, Mike McCarthy tested positive for COVID, will not coach Thursday against the Saints.
That's huge.
Wow. That's
huge. Very huge, man.
Breaking right here on Hit Squad.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I mean, who would step up? Kellen Moore, you think?
Joe Philbin.
Joe Philbin? I don't even know who the hell that is. I can't even.
O-line coach.
Damn, man.
Assistant O-line coach Jeff Blasco might.
Wow. I would have thought Kellen Moore. I'm going to be real with you. I really would have thought it. I was surprised, man. No teams have tried getting Kellen Moore off of the
He's
Dallas
young.
Cowboys.
My God, he's in his 20s, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a young coach. He's a very young coach, man.
He needs at least another 2, 3, maybe 4 years
Right.
before he's even considered to be a head coach because he's way too young, and nobody's going to want to take a chance on that. He's a very creative OC. He's very creative, but he needs that. He needs more experience, in my opinion, before he's even considered to be a head coach. He needs more experience.
Nah, I mean, I could see that too because he's definitely, bro, he's young as hell, man. I really forget how old he is. But no, he's young as hell. They're probably gonna want him to get more experience. And honestly, if Mike McCarthy wouldn't work out, I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas gave Kellen Moore that opportunity. To be real with you, I wouldn't be
either.
surprised. And I agree with you here, Jaden. That's why I highlighted it. I would look. He says Judge and Jones will be back next year, and we will be relevant next year. But if we keep winning these games, we'll be relevant this year too. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, man. I'm telling you, they could get this streak going. They could win these next couple games because I'm telling you, man. I think honestly, man, I think we do pretty good against Dallas, at least matchup wise. I mean, I really do think that. And if now that
I
we see what we have
agree.
with Robinson,
You know, am I happy with the 4-7 record? Hell no. But you know how good and how much I get goosebumps when I see now the playoff picture for the NFC, and they're showing the Giants in there at 4-7.
yep.
I'm not gonna lie. Maybe we can go 10-7. 9-8. Hell, 9-8 might give us a playoff shot.
I think so too,
it
man.
depends. Because we got the tiebreaker against the Panthers, we got the tiebreaker against the Saints. We have a tiebreaker against somebody else too.
I mean, shit. If we beat Washington, we'll have the tiebreaker there.
Right.
You know, and it's like, I mean, man, look, I'm gonna just read a couple of the teams that are ahead of us, their schedules remaining, right? So you have the Vikings, right? Vikings, you know, they got the Lions on Sunday. I mean, that's probably a win for them. After that, they got the Steelers. Then they got the Bears. Then they have the LA Rams, the Packers, and then the Bears again, right? Then you got the Falcons. The Falcons play Tampa Bay next. I think Tampa Bay gets that. After that, they have the Panthers, the 49ers, the Lions, the Bills, and then the Saints again. So that's not
That's
too
a
easy
tougher
there
schedule,
either.
but that first team, I can only see them losing 2 games, the Vikings.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, one of these teams are gonna make it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. One of these teams will make, the playoffs. But I mean, even when you look at the Saints, man, I mean, the Saints, they got the Cowboys, then they got the Jets, then the Bucs, Dolphins, Panthers, and then the Falcons again. But the Saints, man, I mean, they don't got a quarterback. They
Yeah.
don't have a QB.
Simeon's not it.
And all we need to do is win that next game against Philly, man. And it's like, I'm not even worried about Philly.
All we got to do is just have Atlanta or the Saints drop out, and man, we're right there.
100%. I mean, I'm gonna look one more time because I know I retweeted it.
We win out. We're definitely in the playoffs.
Well,
it could happen. Am I going to predict it? No, but I got a feeling we're going to be a lot more relevant.
I'll tell you one thing. I hit my Twitter this morning, and I saw a lot of people, pretty much saying, well, if we win out, we're going to be missing out on Aiden Hutchinson and, what's the other guy there? Linderbaum and Evan Neal. I'm like 50-50 on that, but you know what? I'm never going to root for my Giants to tank because somehow, some way, we'll be able to fix this team in the ways that it needs to get fixed. There's a ton of defensive ends in that draft. There's a ton of O linemen in that draft.
And not only that, if Hutchinson really is that man, we got the draft capital where if the Bears give us the 5th pick, we can bounce up there to 3 or 4 if he's there.
Yeah.
We have the capital, guys. We're not going to miss out on it. We got 10 draft picks this year.
Mm-hmm.
If Aiden Hutchinson is that good, you know what? I see Joe Judge going up and grabbing him. And then let's say we are at 20 and Linderbaum's on the board at 15. We have the capital to give up a 3rd and maybe a 6th round pick to go up to 15 to grab Linderbaum. Just because we're a winning football team and we actually can get above 500 this year, I am all for it. And there's more than one way to trade up into a draft.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
You know, so don't think we're out of it for any reason, because if you look, Hit Squad, go over the Bears schedule right now and see how many
I got
games
Miz.
they're winning.
What's going
Miz,
on,
my
Miz?
guy.
What's going on, brother?
What's up?
How's it going there, Miz?
Good. What's going on?
Oh man, we're talking Bears football right now. You know, people are worried we're not going to get one of these stud edge rushers or Linderbaum or everything because we're winning now, and if we win out, we're going to be in the 20s picking. And I'm like, bro, we can move up in the draft. I would much rather be a winning franchise and move up in the draft to get the guy than be a losing guy and have 2 top 10 picks.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
honestly, man, the Bears, they have a rough schedule, but Washington football team, they got a rough schedule going forward. I mean,
Yes.
they got the Seahawks tonight, then they got the Raiders, and then after that, it's all division, right?
Right.
The 49ers, who are ahead of us, man, they got the Seahawks, the Bengals, the Falcons, the Titans, the Rams. Like, those are some good teams there, man. I mean, how many more of those games are they going to win? Like, I mean,
Right.
you look at the Bears, man. I mean, it's like I've always been more focused on the Bears pick than our own pick, just because the Bears, I mean, they got a brutal schedule, man. Let's be real. They got a brutal schedule.
Backyard Birds podcast. We don't have to worry about winning out. Are you saying that we're definitely winning out with that statement?
Come on, man. I can't believe this. Whose man's is this? Whose man's is this? But,
Really?
but you know, I wanted to highlight this because, like, I've been saying this. I never understood why Garrett was using Saquon like Zeke, man. They ain't even the same type of back, dog. Why are you using that man like he's Ezekiel Elliott? I don't know. Maybe y'all can tell me.
Right. We don't even have the line to do that. So
Exactly. And it's like, you look at their backs throughout the years, almost all of their backs are running like Ezekiel Elliott throughout the years. Darian McFadden. We had Alfred Morris at one point, man. I mean, Tony Pollard looking like a 1B running back behind that offensive line, man. I mean, shit, you put my fat ass behind the offensive line, man, I might get you a dub. I'm telling you, man.
Right.
I mean, we can go back to, you know, even when he was in Penn State. Saquon was never a power back. Okay? I mean, a lot of the runs that he's had, he has bounced it outside to get those yards. He was never a power back. So, in the way I'm looking at it is, well, okay, he's not a power back. You get a running back that is one, and it's a 1-2 punch. But how are you going to do that 1-2 punch? Utilize him in the way, like I said, I'm going to keep saying it. Use him like Alvin Kamara. Get him in space.
Oh man.
And watch what he does.
Well, you're good, Backyard. Thank you, though.
No, I agree with you, Rodney, 100%, man. I don't know, man. It's like, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, you know, we're gonna go win the Super Bowl, nothing like that. It's 1 week at a time. But damn, it's possible, man.
It's nice to have hope.
Man.
It's nice to have hope.
Hey, put that backyard message up there one more time. What did he say?
He said, y'all won against us on a bad day. If you played us the week before, it'd been over. Enjoy your stream.
You know
nah.
what? I'll say
Sound
I'll
like a
say
salty
this. Look,
person to me.
yeah, very much so, Miz. Very much so. Look, I'm gonna say this: the Eagles, they're running the Oklahoma Sooner offense. That's what they're running.
Someone said that the other day.
You look at the Sooner offense; they're running the same offense. That is the offense that Jalen Hurts came from when he was in Oklahoma. He came from that offense. They prioritized the run to help out with the passing game. Everybody knows that Jalen Hurts he can't really pass the ball, but he's a very fast quarterback. He's got the legs to make plays happen. So what do? You
I have more breaking news. Sorry to interrupt, my guy, but I have more breaking news. Jalen Hurts hurt his ankle, might not start next week against the Jets.
Oh, it's over then. It's over.
More bad news for the Eagles. More bad news.
Y'all saw that picture of their offensive lineman crying after we won yesterday? Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me see.
I know
I
what
got
you're
it. I got
talking
it. Hold on.
about.
I'm gonna save it. Hold on. I got you. It's Let me show you real quick. This shit insane.
That's false. Well, Mitch just did a video on it,
Hold on.
What was that?
and I've seen it a couple other places
but
too.
Rodney,
That's why I reported it.
but that. Yeah, Rodney, I definitely 100% agree with you on Saquon. They're definitely using him the wrong way. I love the comparison with Alvin Kamara, being able to use him like that. I think he would be way more effective. And I'm just going back with like a couple points that y'all were talking about with for all the Giant fans and whatnot, and they're saying, "Oh, we keep on winning games, then we're gonna miss out on the top talent." Like, I'd rather win games than to be in the top 5 in draft picks. I don't want to be in the top 5. I want to win games. I want to get the team playoff experience. This is what they need to do. It's coming down to the end of the season. They need to go on to a run. Miz, I remember you saying this. I think like a couple weeks ago, you had a feeling that we was gonna make a run, and this may be the run. I mean, we beat our rival. It was an ugly game, but we've seen some good things, seen some bad, but this may be the run that you was talking about, Mid.
Y'all see this? Eagles left tackle Jordan Mailata was in tears as he exited MetLife Stadium. Mailata spent several moments alongside Jalen Hurts on the field following the incompletion of Jalen Rager turnover on downs. Look at this bum. Cry, Eagles, cry. That's all I got to say. I don't give a fuck. Cry your ass
Oh, he
off.
is expecting him to play next week. Okay, I wasn't sure. Like I said, it was on Twitter. I saw a video of it. I've been live for the last hour and a half, so I haven't been able to catch up on things. But I said I just saw. So it's possible he might be out. Possible he might be in. But it's definitely an injury is something to think about.
Oh, for sure.
And that was my thing is like, oh, he is dealing with an injury now. So it's something to keep an eye on.
I mean, Lorenzo Carter was hitting that man, dog. So I wouldn't I don't wish injury on no one, but I wouldn't be shocked, man, if that dude was injured, dog.
Man, I'll tell you what, I love the game plan with Betcher because every time Hurts ran that RPO, Carter was just blasting him. He's like, every play, go hit that guy. Just go tackle him. He's a ball carrier. He's not a quarterback.
Yep.
I was like, wow.
Actually, you know what I loved? I loved when Julian Love came out and said the game plan was to make Hurts throw the ball.
Miz says he'll jump back on when he gets home on his laptop.
Yeah, no problem, man. I like your energy, Jaden. Eagles getting swept this season. Facts.
Oh, yeah, definitely on that.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah.
I'm going to have to hop off for a bit.
That's cool. No problem. No problem.
I'm hoping that you're still on so I can get home and do the same thing as Miz. Hop back on the stream, man.
Yeah, bro. Take your time, man. Take your time.
All right, there, Joel. Hit. Subtle.
Yes.
It was good talking to you guys, and I'm hoping that I can get home in time to talk to you again.
Yes,
sure,
definitely.
bro.
I'll be live tonight calling the game on my channel.
Yes, sir.
Not a problem, man.
And we'll be
All
there
right,
too.
I still got to set that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there too, man. I mean,
Beautiful.
We'll live, so
Beautiful.
count me there. I mean, look, yeah, it wasn't anything to write home about, man. But you got as Giants fans, man, we don't get the dub over y'all as often as y'all get the dub on us. You
Man,
see, y'all view us in the same light that we view the Washington football team.
Man, this is the first time we've had back-to-back wins against the Eagles in what, 8 years?
Exactly, man.
9 years?
It's been a long time, man. And when you look at this team, man, look, we're both in the rebuilding process. Obviously, we had expectations for our team. I know y'all are still trying to figure out what you guys are doing, at least QB wise, and instilling Nick Sirianni into your organization. But I'm just saying, man. Hey, I gotta take it, man. I'm gonna ride that high, man.
Exactly. I mean, look, none of us coming into the week were really expecting the Giants to be able to do anything. And then Monday we hear that Garrett's fired and we're breaking down teams. We're coming off of a really, really bad loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, we were all just downtrodden and beat down, and we didn't really know what to expect from this game. in all honesty, and to come out and to see, for us, it was progress.
Yeah.
You know, we've been following this, and that's all we really wanted to see yesterday was progress, and we did enough progress to win the game. So that's where our high is coming from right now, is because we saw Daniel Jones manipulate the pocket, not just stand back there and take a sack. You know, we saw guys making plays. Our defense really stepped up and came to play. Everybody was a playmaker. We had a couple of stupid penalties, but we didn't have a ton of penalties. That in itself is progress.
Thanks.
You know, the defense, how many penalties did the defense have?
Way too fucking many.
Did they?
The defense actually, nah. Hold on, I'm gonna check real quick.
Yeah, check real quick. One or two maybe?
Let's see real quick.
You guys were too. I'm not denying that. I came onto your guys' streams and said you guys were in it till the last 10 seconds of the game.
I'm gonna check this out right now.
My God, I was shot. Bro, I was showing you guys a lot of respect and love yesterday.
Hey, so the Giants, we committed 2 penalties for 15 yards. The Eagles committed 4. There was a total of 16 penalties for 41 yards.
Okay. So we only had 2 penalties?
Yeah, 2 penalties.
I'll take that all day. That's winning football right there.
That is, man. And it's like, look, I'll be real with you, Backyard Sports. I mean, I know that you're saying that your team's a mess, but so is ours, man. Our team's a mess just as much as y'all is. I mean, I'm going to just keep it a stack with y'all. Oh, why the hell it look like that? Yeah, that was weird for a second. But yeah, nah, man, our team is a mess too. I mean, and look, yeah, y'all should have won. I'll give y'all that. But we should have scored more points. So we could easily say that, you know, we should have won too, even though we did win, but just by a larger amount.
Man, at the end of the day, we won that game. That's all that matters, because how many games can we literally pinpoint that we were supposed to win? We were supposed to win the Washington. We were supposed to win Atlanta. We were supposed to win the Chiefs. So that's what happens in the NFL. So
it happens, man.
Exactly.
And you know, I'll say this much, man. I mean, look, call it for what you will. I'm gonna call it breaking news. But Joe Judge officially came out today and said that Logan Ryan is back. He cleared COVID protocols, and he will be available this week. So
beautiful.
I mean, we've been playing without Logan, man. I mean, and I'll be real with you. If Logan plays yesterday, he got 3 interceptions himself, man.
Right. No, I mean, Backyards, it's all respect. Don't get me wrong, but you know, there is a little bit of divisional juice flowing right now. I cannot lie. And that's all it is right now, is just divisional juice.
Yeah, I mean, look, Logan Ryan being back, that's great. This defense really has taken their steps forward. It's looking like a pretty, you know.
Oh, I know.
It's looking like the defense that we was imagining when we first started the season. That's the defense we're seeing now is what we wanted to see from week 1.
Yes.
Yep. You're right.
Yes. We knew the talent was there.
I want to see really quick. I mean, man, if this, I want to see how he's playing real quick. I really want to see how Tua's doing this year, man.
Yo,
I got some Dolphins friends that they've been harping on getting this man the fuck out of there. So
right, I've been seeing
that. How he's doing, man. All right, so I mean, shit. I mean, it's like even with Carolina, man. I mean, Carolina's D played pretty well, despite them, you know, giving up 33 points. But it was really their offense. And us as Giants fans, man, we know that when we can't put points on the board, usually our defense, you know, when you have your defense out on the field like that, it don't matter if you got last year's Bucs defense, man. I mean, they're gonna get tired. They're gonna let points on the board, man.
Right.
So I mean, I could kind of see, you know, the Carolina Panthers having a bad game yesterday. I think if it's any other day, you know, the Panthers win that game. But Miami, they're on a little bit of a high right now.
Yeah.
On that streak, you know, kind of similar to what y'all are. And you know, I'm gonna take this quote from Pat. I wouldn't mind if we become the streak killers, man. If we don't go to the playoffs, let's go upset some games. Let's go kill some teams' streaks, man. Like,
Play spoilers.
I'm with that, man.
I am
But-
too.
And look, we're gonna wrap it up right here. We at like
Okay.
an hour and a half. I appreciate no, we almost at 2 hours. But
I
I
know.
appreciate everyone that stopped by. We had a lot of people come through in the chat. So I want to say, shout out everyone. Meet the Mets. Easy. I appreciate you coming through. Joel, I appreciate you coming through. Coach,
No problem.
thank you for coming through. Miz, everyone else. I mean, shit, Mark, I appreciate y'all. Backyard Sports, Backyard Birds podcast. We'll see y'all in like 2 weeks. So, we'll get that dub again, man. But I appreciate everyone for coming through. We'll see y'all soon. We're gonna be on Joel's live stream later on tonight. So definitely go check out Classified Joel. Go check out Easy 3 Sports. If y'all want to put your links in the chat, I'm still learning how to do that. I know Sunday be killing that shit. I'm still learning how to do that, man. So, but I appreciate everyone for real. And this has been a Hit Squad Productions call-in show. Y'all be easy.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man.
Of course, brother. Y'all be safe.